Good afternoon, everybody. Or it's actually quite close to evening where I am in Melbourne, Australia. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief. It is where you guys join me every Monday to Thursday to take a look at those top stories making the headlines in Israel. And the Israel Brief is brought to you in partnership with Lay of the Land. Now, Lay of the Land puts out a weekly newsletter. It's absolutely free. And if you would like to be part of our mailing list, please be in touch with us via our website. Now, for those who do get the newsletter, please understand that I have been traveling and haven't been able to send it out in its usual format, but everything is back to normal next week. I also want to say that I'm going to try my absolute best to bring you an Israel brief tomorrow. I leave for Israel tomorrow night, so depending on how the day goes, I will bring you an Israel brief tomorrow. However, there will be no Israel brief on Thursday. I think I will be face planted on my bed. Nevertheless, it is day 592, and we do not let the world forget that there are still 58 hostages held in absolutely untenable conditions in the bowels of Gaza, in the tunnels of Gaza. The IDF has embarked on Operation Gideon's Chariot. This is widening the military campaign in the Gaza Strip with, of course, the two main goals: to bring back our hostages and also to ensure the defeat of Hamas. So let's start with those top stories, and we begin with a statement from Prime Minister Netanyahu accusing the leaders of France, Canada, and the United Kingdom of rewarding terrorism. What is the Prime Minister referring to? Well, the Prime Minister is referring to a joint statement put out by the three leaders who have accused Israel of breaking humanitarian norms and threatening concrete action. This could possibly mean sanctions. Now, Israel has restarted letting in humanitarian aid. If you have been following the Israel brief since the start of the war, you will know that Israel has let in a vast amount of humanitarian aid. A lot of it has been hijacked by Hamas and other terror gangs in the Gaza Strip, and a lot has just been neglected in the various collection points by the various agencies tasked with the distribution of aid. Meanwhile, Hamas has welcomed the statement from the three leaders, calling it a step in the right direction. The White House has issued a statement denying a Washington Post report claiming that President Trump has threatened Israel with abandonment if Israel does not end the war. An official claimed that it is absolutely false. The idea that the US would abandon Israel is absolutely false, and that Israel has no better friend in the White House than President Trump. The US ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, referring to the report, said, "Consider the source." And I think what he means by that is the Washington Post is known to put out these kinds of inflammatory and let's call it BS stirring kinds of reports. The Iranian-backed Houthis, they really are becoming a thorn in the side, have threatened to impose a naval blockade on Haifa port. Now, Sana'a airport, which was bombed in airstrikes by the Israeli Air Force following the missile that impacted within the grounds of Ben Gurion Airport, has started operations again. And over the last week or so, the Houthis have fired several ballistic missiles at Israel, which has resulted in airstrikes carried out across several Houthi-controlled ports in Yemen. So I think what we are going to see until we have an end to the war is this firing, this response, this firing, this response, until the war ends or until the Houthis are roundly defeated. And finally, both Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Herzog have sent their support and their love to former US President Biden following his diagnosis of aggressive prostate cancer. Prime Minister called the former president a true fighter. So those are top stories for today, short and sweet. Let's get to the audience question. And it comes from Gary in my hometown of Modi'in. And he says, do we trust Qatar? Okay, so there's a lot of conjecture, there's a lot of discussion around the Qataris at the moment because we have seen that visit by President Trump to the Gulf states, speaking to the Qataris, receiving that Air Force One plane from the Qataris. We know that they are playing both sides, negotiating with Israel. There is a deep mistrust by Israelis for the Qataris, and of course supporting Hamas by still having Hamas leaders have asylum or be allowed to live in Qatar. Now, one of the big issues that Israelis have with the Qataris is that you have the ear of Hamas, you have the control of Hamas. You could use your influence to force Hamas to release all 58 hostages immediately and without condition, but the Qataris don't. And then, of course, there's also that little matter of Qatari money funding anti-Semitism and funding all kinds of subversive campaigns on university campuses around the world. How media that has a lot of Qatari advertising, like Sky News in the United Kingdom, how they report. So do we trust the Qataris, Gary? The short answer to that is no. So those are your top stories. Guys, don't forget, if you have a question, please pop it in the comments section below. I will be back to normal, I think, sort of, next week, and we'll be posting across all our social media, including my LinkedIn account. But in the meantime, don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook/Meta page is at Lottle's site. Our YouTube channel is right here at the Israel Brief. You guys know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, forward, invite a friend, send a smoke signal. We're on my Instagram at Rolene_Marks, usually on LinkedIn at Rolene Marks, and on X at Lay of the Land 5. So guys, God bless you all. I will try my best to see you tomorrow, but if I don't, I will see you again on Monday, back in the state of Israel. Bye for now.